It's Texans today. We're in the middle of Texans training camp, and coming up, my winners and losers from Houston Texans training camp so far. But before we get into that, I have some quick news and notes from the past 24 hours from your Houston Texans. First of all, they signed defensive tackle Khalil Davis. Played in the USFL, played in the lower leagues, but coming out of Nebraska was a 6th-round pick in 2020. Only 2 career tackles and 2 career quarterback hits, but Texans add a little bit of depth up front, along with, on the other side of the football, claiming Keaton Sutherland, who previously played with the Commanders off of waivers, 6 career games played. This is in response to the injury and Scott Quesenberry being out for the season. They claim Keaton Sutherland off waivers, as well as working out NFL veteran Jesse Davis. He's bounced around the league, 6 years in the NFL. The Texans are working him out. So this is a name to keep an eye out on if they sign another player. And hey, that's why you subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you Texans news and rumors all year long, even on my weekend vacation, where a couple of you noticed I pre-recorded some videos. But I'm trying to bring you Texans content every single week, all year long. So hit that sub button. And if we get to 5K, I'm being told that we could be getting some watch parties this season. So help me out. We're only 680 away. Let's get to 5K before the start of the regular season. So first, on my training camp winners so far, Tytus Howard, the right tackle. He's been playing well, and this man, a big storyline was his contract dispute before the season. But hey, big fella got paid. 3-year contract extension, $56 million, 36.5 in guaranteed doll hairs. But not even just him getting paid. Also in practice, he's looked good. He's had some great reps versus first-round pick Will Anderson 1v1, giving him some really good looks of what an NFL starting right tackle will look like. Will Anderson obviously has gotten the better of Tytus Howard a couple times, but Tytus has been looking really good in practice so far. He did have a small injury, is out of practice today, but I expect that just to be, a cautionary thing for the Texans. I think Tytus Howard is going to have a big year, and him getting paid isn't going to, defect from that. I think, a lot of times people are like, oh, this guy got paid, he's not playing for the money anymore. I think he still has something to prove. They want to be the best left tackle and right tackle duo in the NFL. Tytus Howard and Laramie Tunsil, and I think they have a great shot at that. Next on my list, Dameon Pierce, 2nd-year running back. I've heard nothing but good things about Dameon Pierce so far this training camp. You look at the photos, he's looking lean and ripped. A lot of people are saying it looks like he lost some pounds, gained some muscle. Hey, he was already a bruising running back last year. If he improves on his strength and ability to run guys over, this is going to be a dominant force in the backfield. And he's had a lot of good reps catching the ball out of the backfield, something he didn't do a lot his rookie year. I've been seeing quite a few videos of him, over-the-shoulder catches, him catching the ball out of the backfield. And I'm just so pumped to see what Dameon Pierce can do this season. I'm really excited. Year 2 of his development in a new offense with Bobby Slowick, new quarterback C.J. Stroud. I really think if Dameon Pierce can get the ball going in the running attack for the Houston Texans, this is going to be a scary offense for years to come. And that begs the question, he's improved a lot this offseason, but is Dameon Pierce a top 10 running back in the NFL? Give me a yes or no. I'm going to say for this season, by the end of the year, I think he'll crack that top 10. I think he'll be one of the top 10 best running backs in the NFL, but I want to hear from you. So go down in the comment section right now and let me know if you think Dameon Pierce is going to be a top 10 running back this season. Next on my list, I had to put the Rook. I had to put my guy, CJ7, H-Town, hold it down. He has been getting exclusive first-team reps since, the past couple days. It started off him and Davis Mills. They were kind of splitting the first-team reps, but C.J. Stroud's kind of put himself a step forward. He's kind of separated from the pack of Davis Mills, and he's been playing very well. This is what DeMeco Ryans had to say on the rookie quarterback. He said, with CJ, what I've seen is he's definitely made adjustments. He's getting the ball out quick. He's making the proper reads. That's the first thing. We want him to make the proper reads, and if one is open, deliver the ball. He's doing that today, and that's how we want him to operate efficiently. And hey, he's been getting better and better each day, and his stock is rising. He is tied for 4th in the latest Offensive Rookie of the Year odds with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Anthony Richardson of the Colts a little bit ahead of him. I don't know if I agree with that. This is pretty good money. And hey, if you want to bet on this, bet on anything in the NFL, do it with our sportsbook sponsors at BetUS. They're giving you, our listeners, a special 125% deposit bonus when you use chat125 whenever you go to chatsports.com/bet. And you're like, what is a 125% deposit bonus? What even is that? I'll tell you what it is. That means if you put in $100, they're going to give you $125 for free to bet with. So $225 with only a $100 deposit. I'm telling you that right now. If you use promo code CHAT125, you can bet on anything in the NFL, including C.J. Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Our next winner from Texans training camp so far, Blake Cashman. And this might be a surprise to a lot of people. You know, the linebacker room is a little muddled right now. A lot of stuff going on, but Blake Cashman has been playing pretty well and has been impressing coaches, and mostly in pass coverage. His pass coverage ability has really stood out to a lot of people so far at Texans training camp, getting a couple interceptions. And, you know, I don't know if he's going to make the final 53-man roster because this Texans linebacker room has, you know, it has a lot of newcomers, a lot of talent coming in. Denzel Perryman, being one of the big free agent acquisitions. Him and Christian Kirksey have been switching out with the first team at that middle linebacker spot. Christian Harris is the only one I'm, 100% that he's going to start and be the day one starter at that position. Henry To'oTo'o has been getting a lot of praise, but I don't know if they're going to put him there. Maybe Blake Cashman, maybe Corey Littleton. I don't know if they're going to keep 5 or 6 players, but Blake Cashman is balling out and trying to make his case to be on the final 53-man roster. And Malik Collins, my 5th training camp winner so far. He's apparently been the best interior defensive lineman at camp for the Houston Texans. They just signed Khalil Davis the past 24 hours. Malik Collins has been playing very well, though, from what I've heard. Has been getting a lot of good reps against Shaq Mason and against the interior offensive line. And, the Texans D-line, they need to step it up because they need a better defense against the run game this year. Hopefully Malik Collins, new free agent signing Sheldon Rankins, they can kind of solidify the middle of that defense. So Will Anderson, Jonathan Grenard, Jerry Hughes, they can get some pressure from the outside. And I know I gave you 5, but I'm going to give you one more bonus winner, and it's the coaching staff. I've heard everything about this coaching staff 100% great so far. D'Amico Ryans running a great camp. The whole attitude, the whole, aura of this team is flipped on its head right now because everybody is excited to see D'Amico Ryans take the helm of this team. Everything good from Bobby Slowick. Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator, even though he's not calling plays, D'Amico is going to be calling defensive plays. Matt Burke brings a ton of experience to the defensive side of the football. And I think this coaching staff has kind of juiced up the city of Houston and made everybody excited for Texans football today. I don't know about you. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see what the Texans can put on the field. And I'm at a level 100. I want to hear from you. How excited are you for this Texans season to start? Scale it 1 to 100. 1 being you don't want the season to start at all. You're not pumped at all. You're kind of a lame-o, jazzed out in your bottom of your basement or wherever you are. 100, you're like me. You're ready for some Texans football. Let me know down in the comment section how pumped you are for Houston Texans football this season. First loser, I told you we're going to give you winners. We're also going to give you losers. It's going to be O-line depth. They claimed Keaton Sutherland off of waivers, but they lost an important piece in Scott Quesenberry with a torn ACL, presumably out for the season. That's a big blow because they were, really looking forward to, his veteran leadership, his veteran presence on the interior of that offensive line. You got second-year player Kenyon Green, and now you're going to be relying on rookie Juice Scruggs at the center position. It's a blow, and it sucks because having interior offensive line depth or offensive line depth in general is something that's needed across the NFL because there is a lack of talent on the offensive line position. Our second loser for Texans training camp so far is Chase Winovich. Has been injured for most of training camp so far is just getting back. But I've been hearing so many good things about Jacob Martin and some of these other players that are before him. Chase Winovich on the roster bubble, him being hurt and him being out of camp, not being able to, show what he's got, makes him a loser in my opinion. He hasn't necessarily been playing horrible, been looking really bad at camp, but, other guys playing well around him, he's on a roster bubble. That makes him a loser for me. And my last loser, Steven Sims. And this one hurts. This one hurts because the hometown kid, Steven Sims, I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do. But, he hasn't been playing bad. He's been making plays. He's been looking good. He's a threat in the return game as well. But how many wide receivers do the Texans keep? They cut Amari Rodgers last week. But you still have, I think a clear top 6 in Nico Collins, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson. I don't know where Sims fits in that. Maybe if Noah Brown doesn't make this roster, I don't see them cutting one of the rookies, Tank Dell or Xavier Hutchinson. John Mechie, Robert Woods, Nico Collins, those 3 are an absolute lock for me. So I don't think the Texans keep 7 wide receivers. I just don't see how they have the room to do that. Unless Steven Sims really gives them something in, the special teams game. But this wide receiver room, a lot of people are doubting it, but I don't know if there's room for Steven Sims, a decent wide receiver for this Houston Texans team. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everybody who watched all the way to the end of the video. I know you're real ones. I know you bleed that red and blue, that Texans battle red. So if you made it to the end of today's video, spam those H's down in the comments so I know who the real ones are. I'll be watching. I have my eyes out. Don't think I don't see everybody who's spamming those H's at the end of the video. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I hope you all have a great Monday. Let's go Texans.